Hey everyone, it's time for another cast party. That's right. On April 24th, we're going to do a live recording of another cast party episode. We get together, talk about how things have been going so far, and answer questions from the live audience about the show. You'll want to hear it. Get the behind the scenes look. We stream it live from the Complex Action Actual Play YouTube channel. Like I said, April 24th. Be there. It'll be a lot of fun. Now, on with the show. You're listening to the Complex Action Actual Play podcast. The team takes care of some personal downtime. Elric recovers from a 100-year hangover, Payday heads out to visit a fine southern lady, and Throwback deals with a dangerous and ominous request from his gang leader. Now please enjoy episode 34. I need you to do something.
So tomorrow we have to decide whether or not we're going to confront Rudolph about this or how we're going to approach the situation. But tonight, we just made a direct letter Nguyen. Leroy, you fell in the water and almost died. I want to know how... Yeah, you call the shots. I want to know how you party after making a direct letter Nguyen and almost dying. Let's do this.
Payday switches to uppers immediately.
Like, you guys have fun. I think I'm gonna go to the hospital for a while, but like maybe I'll catch up with you later.
We could party at the hospital.
Sure?
They got alcohol.
No. I mean, I don't think that wound is all that bad. It's just a flesh wound. You'll live, right? Maybe you shouldn't have much alcohol, though.
It went through through and through. There's a wound in the back.
Well, the lungs and the heart, those are flesh.
It missed important bits.
Come on, let's
And
take
she's gonna die unless you do-
our friend. Let's take our friend to the hospital. They'll give her pain pills, and then we'll get some alcohol.
It like pulls open the shirt a little bit and pulls back the bandage, and there's probably just this gashing wound that very clearly is rigid on each side and needs stitches.
Oh yeah, that looks terrible.
When you pull back the bandage a little bit, you know, it suddenly kind of like gushes a little bit of blood, and you probably like close it again real fast.
I'm really sorry. My magic usually does better stuff than that. I thought you were better. So you're acting like you're in no
it's
pain.
fine. You don't get to be famous or anything like this if you don't get a few wounds like this. It'll be okay. Like,
Yeah, we better get you to the hospital so you don't die.
So,
no, I gotta go to my own hospital. I owe them a lot of money.
Okay, well, let's get you there fast.
I can get myself there. I'm gonna call a cab. Later.
What? You need an ambulance.
She doesn't trust us, and she
I
ain't
don't
going
think
to a
so.
hospital.
Yeah, what that guy says. Nice. Yeah,
Okay, well, try not to die.
I'll do.
Just-
Yeah, I will.
Give us a call when you can do this again. I got a gesture to the shop we're standing out front of.
All right, well, you guys part your various ways to do your various things. All of you can have 7 karma. I'm giving you an extra bonus karma for the way that you treated the other runner team and you let them go. Sort of like a good feelings bonus.
oh, P.S. We totally go back to Marauder's Bar and get wrecked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Leroy's lead on how you party in a situation like this, and I'm gonna throw around a lot of new yen.
Has Elric ever done shots before?
Yeah, he's been in college, lots of college, so he's familiar with shots. He doesn't have a very high body rating,
Yep, perfect.
and his willpower is pretty decent. But yeah, I'm gonna throw around about 1,000 new yen, buying drinks for people and just throwing down and partying in whatever venue that Leroy picks.
And Elric, like in combat, in life, when he goes hard.
It's like a Force 10 party.
I probably last about an hour and a half.
All right, well, you guys have an awesome time partying, and I'm sure Payday at some point is propositioned by a woman.
And he becomes very awkward and doesn't know what to say.
And then they end up. You guys end up having to run down a Shadowrun team because of it, and
It's not like last time.
no. But you make your way back, and Throwback, I'm sure, eventually, over the next day or two, ends up back at his place, right?
Yep.
So when you do, you get a phone call. You get a phone call from someone that you know from the dragons.
Okay. I'll like let it ring for a bit because I didn't really want this to happen. But then I'll pick it up. Do I know who it is before I pick it up?
Yeah.
Or do I just know that it's a number related to the gang?
You just know that it's a number related to the gang.
Okay. I'll just pick it up. Say, hi.
Hey, Throwback. This is Max. Now, you know that Max is someone who's decently high up in the gang.
Okay. Yeah. Hi.
How's it going, man? I'm giving you a call. You need to come on down here to the HQ. So Icefyre wants to talk to you.
Is everything okay? Yeah. I'll be there. I'll be there now. I guess now's good. I'll be there now.
Yeah. Now's required.
Understood.
Also, what's the guy's name? What's your contact's name from the dragons? I can't remember who I made up.
Alpine.
Alpine. Max says. Also, Alpine told me to tell you that he wants you to come pick up the dog.
Is he okay? You're like from his house?
He just told me to tell you when you were back in town. He hadn't heard from you, so.
Okay. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, come on down. Icefyre wants to talk to you.
Okay. Right now.
Yeah.
Then I'll hang up.
All right.
And then is Alpine's place like kind of in the direction of wherever I'm heading?
It's within the the immediate territory of the dragons. Like he lives on that where you're going. Not like building wise, but he lives in the neighborhood that you're headed to.
All right. Well, I feel like I have just enough nerve to go there first to get the dog, and then hopefully then go to HQ.
All right. Alpine's like, man, oh yeah, good to see you. You're a pup here. Been a great dog.
I'm so focused on her. Like, she look all right.
Yeah, she looks great. Very excited to see you. Jumping up and down, licking you.
Yeah, I'll be like, all right, cool. Yeah, you didn't mess this up at all. Nice.
Man, I mean, it's just a dog. What do you?
I once saw you like lock your keys in your car, and then your car got locked in a garage that wasn't yours. Like this was
was not
big deal.
My fault. All right.
Yeah. No, of course, it's fine. You did good. Thank you. I appreciate it. How much do I owe you?
How much do you owe me? 50 new yen.
No, it's a joke. I'm not going to pay you money. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I knew that.
No, you have to be strong. I take out my cred stick and give it to you. You have to insist. You can't give stuff away.
Listen, I'm the drug dealer here. All right, I'll tell you who needs to be stronger than who, and he kind of, points to your legs.
Yeah, whatever. Give me the cred stick back. That thing costs money.
Yeah, well, just take your dog.
I will, and then I'll give him a half salute and head off down to HQ.
All right. Well, when you get to the building where Icefyre lives, it's kind of like it's like a small apartment building, sort of like an apartment complex. A bunch of the whole area is like I said, an apartment complex. Each building has like 8 apartments in it, and he occupies one whole building, and you get up there and people are expecting you and they direct you up to where he is, and you get up in there and come in and you're directed in by somebody, and Icefyre's there, and he's standing looking at some stuff on a desk, but he's standing at the desk, and he sees you come in and he says, yes, Throwback, come in.
Hi. Yeah. So I was supposed to come and see you?
Yes. I'm glad that you came as promptly as you did. I appreciate that.
Oh, it's fine. I was just sitting around.
I see what he did there.
Icefyre doesn't seem to notice the joke, and he says, well, if you'll come on up, he sets out a pitcher of water and pours you a glass and slides it up to the other side of the desk, and he says, how have things been going? I hear that you've been you've been able to get some side works. You've been gainfully employed.
Throwback takes the glass and he's like holding it in both hands, and he'll take a sip and puts it down in his lap. Says, "Yeah, you heard about that. That is good."
Yes, and your reaction to that is probably appropriate. You get the feeling from him that you're not exactly sure whether he's happy about that or not.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of like, that's good, but like there's also like kind of a question there.
And he says, normally that well, we prefer you to obviously be contributing to our business here, but I have something that I would like to ask of you, and it has to do with what you're involved with.
Oh.
It's not what you might be thinking per se. Let me just level with you, Throwback. I need you to act in a certain context with your team that is going to benefit me. There's an interest in understanding what types of things that the people you're working with are doing, what kind of jobs they're going on, who they're associated with, things like that. And I need to know that I can rely on you to provide that information.
You want me to be a rat?
You're not being a rat. You're being an asset.
Everybody takes another drink while he like reluctantly nods, like, "Oh yeah, an asset."
Exactly, an asset.
I mean, of course, I would do anything for you guys. You've done so much for me.
Yes, we try to help out our assets as best as we can. And he's using very directed tone, and whatnot. And he looks at you and he asks you very directly, looks you right in the eyes, and he says, Can I rely on you to provide this information to me? And when he says that, you're going to want to roll a willpower and what is it? Willpower and is it
mental manipulation? Would be willpower plus logic.
Yeah,
I
willpower
know what
plus
you're wanting
logic.
to do. It's intuition, isn't it?
Is it a spell or is it the adept power?
I'm pretty sure it's intuition because you're doing an adept thing.
Thankfully, logic and intuition for me are the same pool, so you can keep that
good.
secret
Then I
to
don't
yourself.
have to reveal that to you.
Yep, I will roll willpower plus the same thing. That is 2 successes and almost a glitch. So you tell me.
Well, you feel very, very like suddenly, like in this sense that you trust him and he's asking a question and you feel like it's really in your best interest to let him know exactly what it is that you intend to do in regards to the request he's made.
Oh, okay. So I'm compelled to tell him the truth, not just to agree with him.
You are compelled to tell him the truth when he asked you, "Can I count on you to provide this information to me?"
Oh man, give me a quick second. I got to think about what the truth is here.
I understand. So
absolutely
take a
not, sir.
Yes, keep in mind it would have to be the truth in this moment.
Yeah.
How did he phrase the question again?
Yeah. Good. That's a appropriate question. He said specifically, I need to know that I can. He looked you directly in the eyes, of course, and he said, I need to know, can I rely on you to provide this information for me?
I think Throwback blurts out, "I don't think so."
And he lets out a deep sigh and he says, Throwback.
What? No. Yes, absolutely. I'm nervous, but yeah, I mean, of course, they're not my friends.
Throwback. And he snaps his fingers and somebody comes up and he says, why don't you, he's talking to the other person. He says, why don't you escort Throwback into, make him comfortable in the room next door.
I look between the people that just walked in and then back to the boss. I say, just nerves is all, really.
He gives you like a half smile and he says, yes, I understand, Throwback.
Take another sip and then go with the other.
And you're taken to a room that's connected to the one there, and there's almost nothing in it. It's just like a table and chairs. It looks like an interrogation room, if from stereotypical type interrogation room.
I don't think I'm going to be comfortable in here, guys.
And Throwback's probably going to be in there for a little while. Is there anybody else that is doing anything today?
I'm not entirely sure where Elric ends up because he probably gets exceedingly drunk and exceedingly sick and then passes out all in the span of about an hour and a half. Somehow spending 1,000 yen on the process, buying everyone drinks.
Making friends and influencing people.
What about would anybody have seeing Elric in his state helped him home?
Payday probably would have.
All right, well then I'm sure Elric will wake up.
Actually, probably at the garage, truthfully.
I imagine that Payday, that this is what would happen given what I know about Payday. Elric probably finds himself on the floor in the garage, probably near kind of an oil stain on the ground, and still wearing his very dirty, sweaty, and his stains of his own filth and vomit, and wakes up with a very, very serious headache and nobody around, but you recognize where you are.
That's
No. Yeah, I guess Elric will be using his medicine skill to do his best to tend to himself and get back to health after the party, I guess.
Next to him. Elric, you don't look so good.
Oh, where are we?
At the garage. Usually I can't see into the physical world so much. I have to rely on what I can see via AR, but there are cameras here. So you are being watched.
Okay.
By me.
Remember, we were getting paid, and Leroy at the bar,
and yeah, it went poorly after that.
Thanks for and tell Payday thanks for taking care of me.
Yeah, I don't think Hector will be standing up anytime soon. He absorbed a lot of your new yen.
What? I look at my cred stick. 1,000 new yen? 1,000 gone? How did that happen?
I don't have the answer for that, Elric.
All right, well, go ahead and wake up Payday then. I've got some particular special teas to mix.
I've already attempted that. You may want to.
Do you have, biomonitor readings on him?
Yes.
Okay, so he's okay?
Alive? Yes. My tone would be very different if Hector was dead.
Right. Good then. Let's make breakfast.
So where exactly did Wada head after she parted from the team?
I am going to go see Narutasha, my ex-girlfriends.
All right. Give me a description of her and stuff.
She is a very, very tall, very limber, very athletic Narataki. More handsome than beautiful, with a little bit of a mean streak.
Man hands?
Lots of them,
Something
apparently.
like that.
All right. And where does she, what part of town does she live in? I mean, it doesn't have to be specifics. I know you're not probably as familiar with Columbia as other places, but
well, I only want to keep it somewhat a secret because Throwback over there keeps asking. But do they have corporate housing here?
Yes. Okay. So I know the answer to that. I can imply your answer then.
So yeah, some type of probably just housing wherever Natasha, I assume, would lived in.
Sure. So okay, you're able to you get up there and she's there and she says, "Hey, what?"
I made some money this time, unlike all the other times, and I wanted to pay you back a little bit.
Oh, how much? Real quick, out of character, just so I have the appropriate tone. Does she? How does she feel towards you?
Oh, she doesn't like me. Yeah, I stuck her with a lot of fucking money.
Right. Okay, I know that part.
Kind
I just
of a
didn't
bitch
know.
to begin with, but.
All right. So she says, "Oh yeah, money. Okay, how much?"
I got like 20 grand.
That's not enough.
Yeah, I know. I thought maybe it would help for today. It's more than I owe you from this month's payment.
I mean, I guess there's that. Yeah, well, okay, hand it over, I guess. That'll cover some of the interest, or will cover some interest. The interest. Oh, hey, you can pay down the principal a little bit. Yeah, I guess that'll help me. Okay.
Yeah, I'll get you the other 40 soon. Like I think I met some people and I'm gonna be making a lot more money now.
Some people, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like we really kicked ass at the Shadowrunning thing last time.
Oh, so you're involved with some runners then?
Yeah, I'm not supposed to tell people that. No.
Yeah. Well, you always were great at keeping secrets.
Yeah.
Is there any? So okay, 20,000. She makes she's making she's got that stare where she's making a note in AR and whatnot, and she says, okay. Anything else you want?
No, not this time. I think I need to go home and lay down.
Yeah, you don't look so hot. What's wrong?
Nothing at all.
I can tell when you're lying to me.
You say that, but no, I'm not gonna tell you.
Fine. Suit yourself. I got your money. If there's nothing else you want, then I've got just about anything else I'd rather be doing. If you're not gonna, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, say hi to the swim team for me.
Sure, I will. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll get you like the rest of your money soon.
If you say so. She kind of like softens barely a little bit and says, I mean, I guess you did get this. Okay, maybe I will get paid back one day.
And let me know if like you find any like openings. I know this really cool chick named Anna who needs a job.
Sure. Okay.
Well, we'll take her leave as quickly as possible.
All right. Wanda's still in a lot of pain, of course. What does she plan to do about that?
Think she's going to just go back to. No, I take that back. She's gonna go find a hospital. Yeah.
She's going to a straight up hospital.
Probably a public one, and preferably one that is city. If there's one available.
Doesn't ask interesting questions.
Wait, this is the cast, right? Probably ye old dock wagon clinic around, right? We're close to their home territory. Yeah.
Isn't a crash cart more common in the cast, or is that just Texas?
Blue Cross Blue
Wagon. Yeah, I think Dock Wagon was started in Atlanta, so that probably came up first in the cast.
Just realized I wasn't pressing the button, and I was saying exactly what Cassie was saying.
Sure you were.
I'm using two computers here, so I have two keyboards.
Get off my back, man.
All right, so yeah, there's all sorts of clinics you could find. Yeah, if you want to make it to a dock wagon clinic, that'll be just fine. Standard expenses if you want to handle that on your own. What sin are you using?
I have a rating 4 sin, Oceana Dennis.
Rating 4. Okay, that'll be fine this time. So I'll trust you to roll that out and everything. I'm not gonna babysit it if you want to do it.
Looking that up now.
What's Leroy doing?
Nothing exciting. Recovering from probably a severe hangover for the second day in a row. He will leave a note scrawled up in Elric's like on one of the bar napkins in Elric's clothing somewhere. Like I imagine he's got one of those, breast pockets on his shirt and just kind of puts it in there. It'll be poorly written in whatever they have for a pen or whatever. And it'll just be like a thanks for the save, and then his signature, which is terrible.
It's an X.
But you think it was supposed to be an L?
You're trying to draw an L and you drew an X.
But yeah, no. Then it's a lot of recovery from the hangover, and yeah, that's it.
All right.
I'll find something to spend his karma on, and that'll be what he's doing. But he ain't got anything exciting for a couple of days.
Elric woke up on the floor of Payday's garage. He'd been he's not really sure how he got there, but for the exposition for our listeners to be reminded, he was taken back there by Leroy. Actually made sure that he got back to somewhere safe and chose Payday's garage.
And
so
Eon informed him of his loss of funds.
Right. So Elric woke up, his head hurting really, really bad. He smelling awful because he's also in a little bit of his own vomit on the floor and of the garage, and Eon, by virtue of there being wireless devices all over the place. Once Elric puts on his goggles that he likes to keep on himself, maybe he finds him on the floor and puts them around his neck, and as they pass over his eyes and everything, he notices Eon right in front of him, who tells him that what happened, and that he's been being watched by Payday through the various security monitors in the workshop, and that he lost a good bit of money, or spent a good bit of money. It's not fair to say lost. He spent that money.
Did receive goods and services for it.
I don't remember. I had these vague flashes as if from a dream, but they're just images. Generally the flavor of strong alcohol.
It was really quite entertaining. Unfortunately, I didn't record any of it, but I can assure you, you said and did some very interesting things.
Oh no. Just don't tell me, okay?
Acknowledged, Elric.
Is Payday up yet?
He was, momentarily.
I ought to get out my med kit and just do a blood alcohol test and see where I'm at.
Whatever. You're still over the legal limit.
Okay, I'm not going anywhere for a little while yet then.
I believe Leroy and Payday referred to you as what is called a lightweight.
Yeah, well, I don't drink very often. I reminded myself why, I think. This ought to keep me for a few years. Say, there a mop and a bucket around here somewhere. You know why Payday keeps that, Drek?
Such a thing I believe would exist in the shop. However, I cannot tell because it has no digital signature.
You don't have access to visual sensors?
Well, I suppose, but not unless I'm directed to.
Do you have to be directed by Payday, or can other people ask you to do stuff?
Other people can ask, but I can only take direction from Payday.
So, if I asked you to do your magical matrix connection thing to my goggles, you could perceive what they're picking up on cameras. Is it something you'd be able to do, or do you have to ask Payday to direct you to do that?
She seems very confused.
Well, go ahead. I mean, if you want to. I'll do this thingy. Bloop. There we go. I'm inviting a mark. I roll my computer skill to see if I critically glitch.
Eon suddenly starts to seem a lot more upset. I can't. I believe we're reaching the limitations of my ability.
No, get this. We're reaching a limitation. And a specific one. What if upgrading you isn't some sort of big, giant epiphany thing that transitions you from one state of agent program to another state of fully sapient artificial intelligence? But what if it's a progression or evolution of continuous steps? Now that we've found a limitation, we can speak to whoever knows how to do magical programming mumbo jumbo. Oh, Throwback would know that, Drek, right? We can talk to Throwback, and maybe we can program a way for you to overcome that specific limitation, and you're one step closer.
I would very much like that, Stretch.
Right. So I'm gonna start looking around for a mop.
I'm sure you can find one. Does Payday's got a mop, or maybe
sure,
like a wet dry vac? Ugh, gross.
He'll clean up after himself, and then go about seeing about some coffee and then some light food, and then check on Payday.
What is Payday up to? Is he awake?
Payday is butt naked and face down on his mattress on the floor that looks like it has seen better days.
Does he lock his bedroom door?
No, there's no lock. I mean, there probably once was a lock, but he has since taken care of that in another such state of inebriation.
Well, after Elric cleans up and goes looking for Payday, Elric opens the door and finds a still unconscious, naked in all of his tan-lined glory dwarf on a mattress on the floor.
Okay, so I will leave him alone. I will close the door quietly. And I will go about making some coffee and some food, and then go about thoroughly cleaning the place, except for the room that Payday's in. I will summon I will summon a Force 3 Spirit of Water to help me.
Probably the first cleaning this place is likely ever seen. It's other than the shop part itself, which is the majority of the place.
Maybe occasional low force spirits of fire as well. And definitely magic fingers for the nastier messes. So, yeah, Elric's sort of setting about cleaning up his place until Payday eventually wakes up. I will make no move to disturb him, except to occasionally check and make sure that he appears to be breathing, preferably from a distance.
Preferably from the astral plane.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, he'll definitely think of that.
Well, eventually, Payday will emerge from his den dressed in clothes he's been wearing for the past couple days, like a bear emerging from his den. You're still here.
Oh, yeah. Well,
What are you
doing? You made sure to keep track of me last night when I had lost my direction. So I figured I'd stand vigil. I had to do something in the meantime.
Don't worry, Stretch. I'll pretend I don't remember anything.
Thank you. I asked Ian not to inform me about any of the events that I don't remember.
Probably a good idea.
Speaking of which, hey, if you're you need to get some food in you, and should probably put some clothes on, huh? Never mind, it's your place. Do what you want.
Oh no, he put clothes on.
Okay.
Is that clothes that he's been wearing for the past couple days?
But props to Elric for keeping it cool.
I almost regret not walking out butt naked.
All right. Well. Hey, I wanted to talk to Throwback about something that involves Eon. But let me give him a call first, and I'll give Throwback a call and leave him a voicemail.
Is this about the thing that I was talking about the other day that we don't say in front of her?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I'm confused about what that is, though. Oh, you mean the parental? Never mind.
What parental?
Like you being her dad, kind of thing.
Eon looks confused and almost slightly offended at that. Payday just sighs and waves you off.
I understand. You're not really her dad. You didn't program her, of course, but...
Finally, yes, I didn't program her. She's not my girlfriend. She's not my daughter. She's my partner.
Yeah, but not really. Hey, Eon, I'm doing Invite Mark. Can you mark my goggles so you can use them?
And suddenly she seems to be able to do that.
See, she couldn't do that when I wasn't around you or asking you about it. Though she didn't seem to have to ask you for permission. That's interesting.
Huh, well,
Matrix
magic.
Anyway, it's a specific limitation that maybe someone like Throwback can look in and, overcome with some coding, and maybe by finding her limitations and overcoming them, specific limitations one by one, that's how you do it. I don't know. Just an idea.
Hey, she doesn't have limitations.
She does. If you say she doesn't, then how can you overcome them? You have to face them and define them and delete them.
Delete? No. We don't delete anything. Ever.
Well, workaround. Give her the ability to choose rather than have the choice already hard-coded. I don't know.
I get what you're saying. Throwback, you think that he can help? I don't know. When I asked, he was a little bit distracted.
Yeah, he's one of the biggest programmers I know, and I know you don't want Z-Trip in on this, though. No. I think he's one of the best people to ask.
He'd ruin it. As far as I can tell, everything that obnoxious little twerp touches, he ruins.
I don't know what you're basing that on.
Well, what's Leroy doing during all this the night after the ruckus?
Does Payday have a couch?
Yeah, he has a couch. It's not a very good one. It's probably not something he ever purchased, and more like something that he may have drug into the shop at one point.
Something that was left out on the curb a couple blocks away.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
So it's terrible. Wonderful. That sounds like the perfect place for a man with a hangover.
Oh, and by the way, Leroy's crashed over there, just in case he wakes up. Don't get startled.
So Leroy brought Elric back to Payday's garage and just decided to sleep there as well?
Yeah. And it's almost fitting that no one's really noticed him yet.
I would have noticed while I was cleaning.
I mean, if you turned on a shop vac, like the next thing you would have probably heard would be a groan from the couch, followed by like stomping outside and leaving, because a shop vac when you have a hangover sounds like a terrible thing.
Yeah, no, I'd be using things like spirits and
It's like first world
spells
magician.
and stuff. Trying not to touch a lot of the things directly if possible. But yeah, probably not using a shop vac.
So yeah, at some point, maybe when Payday starts stomping around the place, he'd roll over on the couch. There'd probably be a thud as he falls onto the ground.
Hey, look at this guy. He's awake.
And then just a crash of bottles, and then some cursing.
Just as a heads up, you and I remember nothing of what Elric did yesterday.
I mean, I feel like I kind of want to make a memory test.
Hey, you probably would have to make a memory test with the amount that you drank. Yeah, but
And then I land.
Booze is a wild party.
And I land 4 hits on that memory test.
Well, sure. You can you can go ahead and tell me a couple of the things that Elric did that he doesn't remember if you want to do that.
Oh man, I think I'll just kind of like let that sit, because dropping them on him, hey, it's been 2 weeks. Why don't you do that thing you did again the other night? I think that's more the plan, because he's right now thought process is I'm a little too sober right now.
Well, you've got one free Elric did this card in your back pocket then.
Excellent.
Oh, boy.
I can't imagine how that could be used wrongly in the future.
So, what are you guys up to? You've got some time. There's at most there's going to be 2 weeks until the next thing that is going to happen. But potentially, you could get balls rolling earlier if you decide to pursue things. But it's kind of up to you. The ball's in your court right now.
Yeah, I definitely had something.
I don't think I have anything super exciting. It's going to be a lot of drinking.
More than normal for Leroy?
Yeah, basically. I imagine we're going to go find someplace that's got a breakfast buffet and do terrible things to it to try and get over the hangover, and then see where that takes us.
Sure, you
Elric's
can. Go ahead.
Elric's going to take that whole day after the run as just like a recovery day. I might shoot Throwback another text. Hey, call me. Had some questions about the Eon thing. But other than that, I'm just going to hang out with these guys and then, eventually wander off back to my place. But, probably later. I'm not going to plan on doing anything important.
Well, I have someone that I need to go see. You guys are welcome to come along. Don't make a habit of, tag-alongs when I go to see people I know. But this one might be a little bit useful. And Payday actually goes into the other room and shoots on some cologne. Definitely a scent that you've never smelt on Payday before, to cover up any other foul smells coming off of him.
Ooh, cologne, huh? What's the brand of cologne that he wears?
I think that it should be like whatever the Shadowrun equivalent of like Drakkar Noir is.
I do not know Drakkar Noir, but it sounds very over the top.
Oh, it is a scent from the 80s. You can now buy it in like anywhere for like $15, but Payday believes that this is a good smell. So,
and but we're going with the windows down. Christ,
you going?
Where were we going?
We're going to see a lady.
I just look at Elric like
Payday sprays Leroy with some of the cologne.
I dodge.
Is this business?
Roll reaction plus intuition.
Minus is for your hangover.
Yeah. What were you saying, Cliff?
I said, is this business?
Of course it's business.
Okay, if it's business, I'm coming along. If it's personal,
All right, fine. You get
well,
some
then
too.
I'm not.
Cologne for Elric.
Ah. Actually, I just gotta stop and sniff a little bit and think about the composition, and then sneeze and shake my head.
Her name's Scorch. She works in a junkyard, but she's a lady.
Nice. She so you're sweet on her?
No, I'm not sweet on her. I'm not sweet on anyone.
What's the cologne for then?
Because she's a lady. You don't know how to be respectful to ladies.
Yeah, and usually it does not involve assaulting their senses with this sort of affront. But I'm game. Whatever. I put up my hands up.
What do you
Let's
mean
go.
front?
Never mind.
Anyway.
Can we just go?
Yes, absolutely. She sells drones and sometimes vehicles, and sometimes you have to do some fancy driving around her property.
Sweet. Can I drive?
No, you can't.
Oh, come on. One of these days I gotta get you to teach me how to drive.
Anyway, there are rats in the junkyard and the human kind.
So, potential combat situation?
They're usually cowardly. I want to get in there. I want to buy a drone, a new drone. You're going to love this idea. And I want to get out without offending her.
I better not get shot.
All right, give me a sec. I'm gonna conjure up a Force 5 Spirit of Fire. That caps out at 5 hits.
Oh, well, it's a good thing because you got 1 net hit. So that's 8 drain, boy. Oh, it's fire. So what you get? Oh, no, you just get an extra service. It's still 8 drain.
I take 3 drain. I go, oh, man. I should not try to summon with a hangover. Jeez.
You thought it was my cologne assaulting your senses.
No, I just tried to summon a spirit for backup, and holy dreck, it did not want to come. All right, buddy, just run backup on this. Protect the 3 of us, okay? Hang in astral space. Don't kill anybody unless I say so.
I will be back in 2 seconds, guys.
And then Elric goes over and closes himself in Payday's bathroom and throws up for a bit. Yeah, 3 stun's a big deal when you have low pain tolerance.
Are you just headed straight over to Scorch's place, or are you giving a call ahead of time?
I will send a quick message her way. Not a call, just pretty much like arriving in 25 minutes, if I may. I have Nguyen.
You get a message back that says, anytime, honey. Come on in.
So I, of course, have room to let Elric drive in the Phoenix, and I assume Leroy's probably on his bike.
Wait, did you just say Elric could drive the Phoenix?
No, passenger.
Okay. Well, I guess it gives him time to whip up a quick alchemical preparation then on the way.
Elric drive the Phoenix. That's crazy talk.
I'm not going to stop asking.
Sooner or later, you'll just say, like, rabbit season and duck season. You'll do it backwards.
Yeah, I don't think that'll work even.
Well, but Scorch's place is not too far, actually. Down, it's a little past. It's south from the Horseshoe, through a part of town that you guys are actually fairly familiar with. South of the Horseshoe, south of downtown, is Columbia's Olympia district, which is one of the lower lifestyle, crimier areas, like Puyallup or something like that, if you want to compare it to Seattle. That's where Z-Trip lives. That's where you guys have been to Morningstar's party. That's where Morningstar is. You spent some time there. But if you go past that, further south, there's a district called Arthurtown. It's a industrial sort of like a lot of manufacturing and is done there. Warehouses, blue collar kind of work in that area. There's some people who live out there, low to middle lifestyle area, but it's further away, and like I said, manufacturing, blue collar work. So it would make sense that out there would be in the further reaches would be a junkyard area. You guys get to on the way there. You're driving through past all this warehousing and everything, and you are headed to the Rebel Recycling Center.
So a quick question is, Payday, what am I bringing with me for this?
I'd bring a gun or two, just in case. Like I said, human rats.
How big of a gun?
Well, one to shoot people.
Too hungover for this. All right, so it'll just be like sidearm Ruger short barrel shotgun.
Gotcha. Well, when you pull up, definitely Payday's been there before. He's probably been there in his past life in Colombia quite a bit. I'm sure that's where he knows Scorch from. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. I mean, when you're a mechanic in town, you cozy up with the local junkyard person.
Absolutely. So you pull up. The Rebel Recycling Center is a really big kind of rambling junkyard surrounded by a bunch of chain link fences and just this big sprawling area. And you pull up to a fenced in kind of gate area that's closed, and there's sitting on like a fold out chair under like a tent, kind of pop up tent thing, that you would get from like a party store. Yeah, I can't remember the name of these tents. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like an outdoor covered area tent, that you would set up for an event. It's not really a tent.
Like a pavilion?
Pavilion, that's what I'm thinking. That's the word I'm thinking of. But one of those, not very big. He's sitting under it. He's an orc sitting under there in like I said, a fold-up chair next to like a fold-out table, and he's got a big ashtray overflowing with ash, and he's smoking a cigarette and checking out, just staring off into space with his arms crossed. He's got some sunglasses on, and
yeah. If I could speak of, as we're sort of approaching this place, Elric is going to walk up to Leroy and offer him like a small vial. It's like a little glass bottle with a clear liquid in it.
Hangover cure?
Not exactly. It'll give you a boost if it hits a fan. So drink it if it looks like things are going to get sketchy. And this might help with the hangover. I offer him a stim patch.
He'll take it, but not like apply it because we don't have any actual stun damage.
Yeah, Elric takes one out, peels the wrapper off, and slaps it on the back of his palm. Gives a little shiver. There we go.
Do either of you guys like tea?
It's just a giant eyebrow raise, like
iced tea?
No, like tea.
Like Mr. T?
Oh, frag. Like the tea that you drink that's not iced tea. Actual tea. I hate the stuff, but you like it today.
Hot tea, you mean?
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Isn't that for Yankees?
Whatever.
Again, says Elric, a rather Yankee-like Southerner. Do people still say Yankees?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Here in South Carolina, we refer to Yanks and Yankees, and yeah.
Do they realize that no one up north refers to Southerners as anything specific?
It doesn't matter, because Southerners have an irrational grudge that they hold against the North.
Can't imagine why.
And I'm sure they still hold that irrational grudge in the 2070s. So you guys pull up in your various vehicles, and this orc kind of leans forward and stands up with his arms crossed, and he just stands there waiting for anybody to get out. Payday, do you get out as you pull up? There's like a small gravel parking lot in front of this place.
Payday gets out, moves out his leather jacket as if a old leather jacket could really be smoothed out, and breaches the distance between him and this orc. Do I remember this guy at all? There we go. Do I remember?
No, you don't remember this guy.
Hey, chum, you the help?
Says, yeah. What are you here for?
Here to see the lady. She's expecting me.
Oh, right. You Payday?
That's right.
All right. Come on in.
I waved to my two friends to come on over.
Yeah, Elric was standing back by Leroy, is apparently handing him something, and slapping a stim patch on himself.
All right.
I'll come running up.
you guys are admitted in. He opens the gate. It's not a big, like, super secure place, but he's just, there to open the gate and everything, just asking questions, and he lets you in with not too much trouble. And you're kind of escorted through after you're let in. It's through this big maze of old rusty machinery and piles of junk, and junk by... Yep.
Imagine a child who, for their entire life, has wanted to go to New York City and has studied it and read about it and written letters to people in it. And like their 14th birthday, they get for the first time to go to New York City, and they're walking along the sidewalk and staring up at the buildings with this wide, gaping smile on their faces and bright look. That is exactly what Elric looks like as he's wandering through this place.
Well, yeah, I can imagine all this old machinery and metal and scrap metal and stuff like that, and it's going to take a while for you guys. It's a pretty labyrinthian place, if you can imagine, like an old stereotypical junkyard, and you're walked through. This guy is who's the orc who's walking you through he's wearing these old, like, grease stained blue overalls, like denim overalls, kind of stereotypical ones, with a white t-shirt and everything. He looks pretty good. Thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. This show would not be possible without the generous support of our patrons over at Patreon. If you like the show and you want to help support it, then head on over to patreon.com/complexaction. Supporting can get you access to GM notes and even the chance to get selected to join us on our cast party episodes. That's patreon.com/complexaction to help out if you'd like. There are several NPCs and organizations which were provided by patrons of Complex Action early on in the development of this actual play, and in this episode, the featured ones were Icefyre and the Dragon's Gang, which were submitted by Robert McPherson, and Scorch, the drone dealer, given to us by Eric DeMage. Thank you guys so much for your support. The character art seen on our YouTube page and various other social media places was done by Ethan Brewerton. Check out his awesome Shadowrun artwork at esbrewerton.com, and especially the new portrait that we got done of Throwback finally. Thank you very much, Ethan. The background music in this episode is brought to you by Prism Shard. To hear more of his Shadowrun-inspired music, head on over to soundcloud.com/prism-shard and give him some love. The Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sounds, audio, video, and or any proprietary material used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to Complex Action to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its websites, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with Complex Action in any official capacity whatsoever.